When you build a marketing plan, it would be great if you can build it around the different media channels. In today's episode, we will look at the 4 main marketing media channels. I'll give you some examples and talk about the pros and cons of each. See you after the break. Marketing media channels are divided into 4 segments: owned media, paid media, earned media, and social media. Starting with number 1, owned media. It revolves around an audience that comes to you seeking your content. Content that you have full control over its creation and distribution. Examples of owned media would include your website, what it might entail, such as employee stories, customer stories, blog posts, user-generated content, even webinars, videos, podcasts, etc. The idea here is that you have full control over the content. That's why it's called owned. You own it. You can take it down, change it, or put new content based on your strategy. The advantage of owned media is that you are in charge. No one can take your content down. You are invincible towards policies, rules, to a certain extent. Your content can live a very long time, especially if it's evergreen and timeless. So when you create content strategies for your marketing, try to keep that in mind. The disadvantage of owned media is that it is slow. It needs patience and time. It's not easy to build an audience who will see value in your content right away. Also, owned media can't really survive or even take off on its own. It's kind of dependent on other media channels, such as the paid, the earned, and the social media. Moving on to the second media type, paid media. This one is kind of self-explanatory. It's basically media that you put out there to promote yourself in exchange for money. You pay for ad space, or even you pay to publish content in other publications or well-reputed websites. Examples of paid media channels include Facebook-sponsored posts, sponsored tweets, Google ads, Instagram ads, LinkedIn or Bing ads. Again, your ads could be images, videos, or text. They can also be full sponsored blog posts that you publish by paying money to other publications in return for your content being featured. The advantage to paid media is that it's scalable. The more money you pay, the more audience you can reach, and the more return you will get. It's also fast. You can get out your Google ad in just a few minutes if you just put your credit card in. Paid media is also reliable. Your message is guaranteed to be in front of your audience the moment you pay for it. The disadvantage of paid media is that it can cost you a lot of money, especially if you want more reach. Also, the moment you stop your spend, your reach and performance will stop. Paid ads have a low trust feel associated with them. People usually are skeptical when they see ads in front of their face. Let's move to number 3, earned media. Earned media involves trading valuable content that you produce in return for an established authority's audience. Examples of earned media include general publicity such as media relations, investor relations, blogger or influencer relations. It can also include community service relations or co-branding partnerships. The pros to earned media is that it gives you an edge in the eyes of a third party. You're being acknowledged by a third-party authority. It's cost-effective, and it's usually costing you less or even nothing at all in return for trust from a new audience that you probably have not reached out to yet. There are other benefits to placing your content on other websites, mainly SEO benefits, and also being there online for a long time. If you produce content that is valuable and you share it on a third party, and your content is happily being shared, then most likely this content is going to stay there for a long time. The cons of earned media is that it may be unreliable. At times, you may not be able to guarantee the exposure you want because you don't have full control. Also, earned media can sometimes be hard to scale and can cost you money to guarantee its deliverability. Moving on to number 4, social media. Social media involves extending the reach to your content using your social followers on social media platforms. Examples include media which lives in and is being shared on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, or even video content that you host on YouTube, Vimeo, Twitch, or Dailymotion. The main advantage to social media is that the reach is based on high trust. People trust their peers and friends' recommendations more than they trust an ad. It's also considered a low cost to you as long as you're providing quality content that is valuable and worth sharing. It's most probably going to spread like wildfire. The disadvantage to social media is that it's hard to scale or predict if someone is going to share your content on social media. Also, constant changes to the social media algorithms are going to drive you crazy, and it's going to require you to keep updating yourself with the latest changes. That could be also a drawback of using social media. Now that you understand the differences between the 4 media channels, I want to tell you about the history behind it. Initially, marketing was mainly concerned with paid media, while PR or public relations was concerned with earned media and influencing editorial content. However, as the internet started to dominate our lives, the lines between marketing and PR started to blur. In fact, because internet made digital publishing easy, owned media started to take precedence when it comes to marketing. Then later on, when social media started to dominate the scene, you guessed it right, the social media category was introduced into the marketing media mix. There you have it, 4 marketing media channels to consider. By the way, at the heart of all these media channels is your company's authority. Now, let's assume that you just started working in a company as a marketing leader, a VP, director, or a manager. The first question you should ask yourself is, what are the different media channels for this new company that I just joined? So, it would be a good exercise to create a Google Sheet and list down all the content media channels, breaking them down by the 4 segments we learned today. This will help you next time you're building your marketing strategy because you will start building out your goals, tactics, and even your content to satisfy those 4 channels and whatever media lives under them. Keep in mind that these segments are not clear cuts. There are common sections which are shared or which could fall in between. For example, between owned media and paid media is everything we call affiliate marketing, brand ambassadors, or even sponsored content. And on the other side of the spectrum, influencer engagement, such as loyalists turned advocates, those people and those media related to them live between the earned media and the social media. I just wanted to clarify this. I wanted you to understand that things are not always black and white. If you liked today's episode, go on, give it the thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to create a free account with Danny.net. I will be uploading useful documents related to marketing strategies, and by creating an account, you're guaranteed full access to those valuable files. That's it for today. Take care.